Have you ever found yourself questioning the people you surround yourself with? Maybe you've noticed certain behaviors in women that make you pause, behaviors that leave you scratching your head, wondering what's going on here. But let me tell you, this isn't about pointing fingers or casting blame. Understanding these signs is about protecting your peace, avoiding unnecessary drama, and making smarter choices in relationship. By the end of this video, you'll gain insights that could completely shift how you approach your love life. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Stick around until the end, because what you'll discover might just be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Let's get started. Sign number 1. She thrives on drama. Picture this: you meet someone amazing. She's charming, beautiful, and fun to be around. Everything seems perfect until it's not. Suddenly, every small misunderstanding feels like a full-blown soap opera. 1 minute, you're laughing together. The next, you're caught in a whirlwind of accusations over something trivial, like a late text reply. Why does this happen for some people? Drama is like oxygen. It fills a void or satisfies a craving for attention. Women who thrive on drama often create chaos, even when there's no real problem. It's as though peace unsettles them and they need the adrenaline rush of conflict to feel alive. Think back to your own experiences. Have you ever dated someone who couldn't stop finding fault with you? Maybe she got upset if you didn't text her back within 5 minutes. Or she accused you of neglecting her when you spend time with your friends. At first it's confusing, then it becomes emotionally draining. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Drama is an external event, something you can't always control, but you can control how you respond to it. A wise woman seeks peace, not turmoil. She values calm and stability in her relationships. If you find yourself constantly putting out emotional fires, ask yourself, is this the life I want? Relationships should feel like a safe haven, not a battlefield. Sign number 2. She can't take responsibility. Now let's talk about accountability, or the lack of it. Imagine you're in a relationship and things are going well, but then a disagreement arises. Instead of having an open and honest conversation, she immediately blames you or someone else. "It's not my fault," she says. "You should have known better." Sound familiar? Being with someone who avoids responsibility is incredibly frustrating. It's always someone else's fault. Her parents, her ex, her boss, or even you. The problem is, without accountability, there's no room for growth. And without growth, the relationship stalls. Stoicism teaches us that true power comes from self-awareness. Epicurus famously said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." A wise woman owns her mistakes, learns from them, and takes steps to improve. But a naive woman clings to a victim mindset, blaming others for her problems. Ask yourself, do you really want to be in a relationship where you're constantly carrying the emotional burden? A healthy partnership is built on mutual accountability. If she can't take responsibility for her actions, it's time to reconsider the relationship. Sign number 3. She values materialism over character. At first, it might seem harmless, maybe even endearing. You spoil her with gifts, take her to fancy dinners, and plan romantic getaways. But over time, you start to notice something. Without the gifts and grand gestures, there's little substance in the relationship. Does this sound familiar? Perhaps she's constantly comparing your relationship to others, saying things like, "Why can't we go on vacations like Sarah and her boyfriend?" Or maybe she pressures you to buy her expensive items to prove your love. A woman who values materialism over character is never truly satisfied. No matter how much you give, it's never enough. The Stoics remind us that true happiness comes from within. Seneca wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." A wise woman values loyalty, emotional connection, and integrity far more than material good. She knows that love isn't about what you can give her. It's about who you are. So if you feel like you're being treated as a means to an end, it's time to rethink the relationship. Sign number 4. She constantly seeks validation. Here's a big one. Have you ever been with someone who needs constant reassurance? Maybe you compliment her once and suddenly she's fishing for more. Or perhaps she's glued to social media, obsessing over likes and comments. At first it might seem harmless, but over time it becomes exhausting. No matter how much love and attention you give, it's never enough. Why? Because she's trying to fill an internal void with external validation. Marcus Aurelius said, "Stop wasting time debating what a good man should be won in the same way." A confident woman doesn't need constant validation to feel good about herself. She knows her worth and values the love you give without demanding it 24/7. But a naive woman driven by insecurity will drain your emotional energy. Her endless need for approval will leave you feeling inadequate and exhausted. Relationships should be about mutual support, not one-sided reassurance. Sign number 5. She can't handle criticism. Let's paint a picture. You suggest something harmless like eating healthier or trying a new hobby together instead of considering your input. She gets defensive and lashes out. Suddenly, a simple suggestion turns into a full-blown argument. Some women take criticism personally, even when it's constructive. They see it as an attack rather than an opportunity to grow. Epicurus said it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. In other words, those who can't accept feedback are destined to repeat their mistakes. A wise woman understands that criticism, when delivered with good intentions, is a tool for growth. But a naive woman will twist your words and make you feel like the bad guy. No matter how gently you phrase things over time, this dynamic stifles the relationship, leaving you frustrated and unheard. Sign number 6. She lacks self-discipline. Lastly, let's talk about self-discipline. Have you ever been with someone who talked a big game but never followed through? Maybe she had grand plans to start a business, get in shape, or travel the world, but nothing ever materialized. At first, you might think she just needs motivation. I can help her. But over time you realize she's all talk and no action. From small commitments to big goals, she lacks the discipline to follow through. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you must build up your life, action by action, and be satisfied if each one achieves its goal. A wise woman understands this. She knows that success comes from consistent effort, not empty promises. Being with someone who lacks discipline can feel like dragging dead weight. You're constantly picking up the slack, making plans and pushing for progress. Eventually, it becomes emotionally draining. So there you have it, 6 signs that she might be naive and why it's essential to recognize them. Remember, this isn't about judgment. It's about making better choices for yourself and your relationships. If any of these signs resonate with you, don't ignore them. Take a step back. Reflect and decide what kind of relationship you truly want. Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more content on relationships and personal growth. Remember, you deserve a relationship that uplifts you, not one that drags you down. Until next time, stay wise and take care.